Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the moon square or opposition Mars in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They're a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So first thing up is if you have the moon square or opposite Mars in your natal chart, there may be a difficulty in attaining the needs, which is the moon, for things require some kind of action, general activity, which is Mars. Um, if the thing about this is if you have your moon in Gemini, say, those needs may be very diversified, or they can require communication. It could be learning material in general, assimilating and disseminating information, things that require manual dexterity, as some examples. And also too, I mean, if Mars is in, say Mars is in Pisces, you know, that could be action in terms of helping those less fortunate than yourself, actions that require altruism, sacrifice. It could be rescuing someone, whether it's actually like literally rescuing, physically rescuing a person, say from drowning as an example, or rescuing somebody from some form of addiction as some other, as another example. Now also too, if you have the moon square or opposite Mars in your natal chart, it could also manifest in making it being really hard to find the drive and motivation, which is Mars, to attain the emotional needs, which is the moon. Now, let's say the moon is in Aquarius as an example. Those emotional needs may be tied into humanitarianism, selfless acts, altruism, things that are group related, or it could be something associated with astronomy or astrology, computers, meteorology, aviation, um, innovation, even doing something with model rocketry. But model rocketry, model rockets. That's connected with Aquarius. But the thing about this too is if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart, and they also manifest in having, trouble, being emotionally, which is the moon vested in things that require, energy and physical strength, which is Mars. If Mars is in Scorpio, as an example, those things that require that energy, the physical energy and strength, maybe tied into refuge or some or trash, or doing something with recycling, or something that requires, some, major change or transformation. It could even be, the physical body, such as working out, vigorously, and as some examples. Now, another way these aspects may be expressed in a natal chart is that there may be difficulty in terms of expressing the emotions and feelings, which is the moon, to sexual partners, which is Mars. Now, going back to the moon in Gemini as an example, those emotions and feelings, could be very manifold and diversified. Um, Moon in Aquarius can be a little bit detached, but also feeling, it could be feelings connected, with selflessness, and, feeling like doing things of that nature. But at the same time, if you have the moon in Scorpio, it could be very powerful and intense, but yet convoluted emotions at times, as some examples, could be very passionate feelings if the moon is in Scorpio. Now, the thing about these aspects as well, another way that it may pan out in the natal chart, there may be hard to nurture and care, which is the moon, for those people, for those sexual partners. If Mars is in Taurus as an example, sexual partners may actually be, have a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody, those characteristics. It could be people that are very loyal, steadfast, persistent, persevering, patient, those that are trustworthy, people that could be very, economical, but at the same time maybe obstinate and materialistic as well. Now, another thing too, if another example, let's say if Mars is in Aries, it could be Aries sun, moon, or ascendant people, or ones that embody Aries traits. And it could be people that are very, outspoken, forthright, direct, those that are aggressive, assertive, acerbic, courageous, combative, confrontational, as some examples. Now, another thing about these aspects in the natal chart, it can also, a person may have difficulty finding the emotion, which is the moon, for things that you would have that enthusiasm, which is Mars for. Going back, I know we're going to go to Mars in Aquarius as an example. Those things you have the enthusiasm for, it could be tied into humanitarianism, astrology, astronomy, meteorology, aviation, innovation, computers, electronics, as some examples. And the thing too about the moon square or opposite Mars in the natal chart is that it could be where these aspects may be adverse for being in the mood, which is the moon, for activities that are associated with leadership, which is Mars. Mars is in Leo as an example. It could be, expressing, leadership, in some military capacity, or, through, could be inspiring others through creativity, creative endeavors, something associated, with entertainment or acting, being able, it could be, showing leadership prowess and ability with children, as some examples. And, the thing about, this is as well, if you have the moon square or opposite Mars in the natal chart, the situation with home and family members, which is the moon, may be contentious or acrimonious and combative, which is Mars. And if you have, say the moon, in Libra as an example, those home and family members, one or more may actually be, Libra sun, moon, or have a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those characteristics. It could be those, that are charming, tactful, diplomatic, cooperative, compromising, refined, balanced, equitable. It can be a situation too where, if you have the moon square or opposite Mars in a natal chart, the sexual partners, and leaders, which is Mars, may not be compatible, with that unconscious side, which is the moon. And let's say, if the moon is in Virgo, as an example, that unconscious side, you have maybe one, that's analytical, punctilious with details, industrious, hardworking, health conscious, but yet maybe pedantic, maybe overly persnickety, as some other examples. And the thing about the moon square opposite Mars, it could in a natal chart could also play out, having difficulty in really channeling the anger, which is Mars, constructively, in the home, such as, whether it could be working out vigorously or hitting a, punching bag, as some examples. It could be, or engaging maybe in combative sports, such as karate, kickboxing, as some examples. And the thing about this is, if Mars is in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, there may be some pent-up anger, connected with the past, or involving, home and family members, past hurts, maybe something that dominates this person. I have my Mars in the zodiac sign Cancer, so I would understand something about that. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay low.